Welcome to another episode of Relics Radio. This is a family-friendly show, so the entire family can join us as we talk metal detecting, relic, and treasure hunting. You can also call into the show at 270-495-0315 or join in the chat and post any comments or questions you might have. Relics Radio is also now syndicated on the Cutting Edge Radio Network and is broadcast around the world. You're listening to Relics Radio of Southern Kentucky and Middle Tennessee. And you are listening to a live Relics Radio right here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We're at the American Digger Relic Roundup, or the American Digger Relic Show. We just finished up with the History Seekers, and earlier we had a show with American Digger Relic Roundup. And on the History Seekers, we interviewed a bunch of what we're calling the young guns, the new people, or the young people that are in the hobby. I'm joined by my co-host Tennessee Jeff. It's exciting to be here again this year, isn't it?
It sure is. I hadn't seen this many relics since last year, so but I mean there was a few more relics here this year, I know.
Yeah. But we want to go ahead and bring our guest on because we've got a full lineup here this afternoon in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And actually what we're continuing on our first two segments of our show is the father-son, father-daughter theme that we started back in June and weren't able to get everybody on that we wanted because there's only so many Thursdays in a month. But we've got Chuck and Riley Bryant. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, glad to be here.
Yep. Riley, you guys have had a good time this week, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, we definitely have.
And you make me so mad. The both of you do. Tell us what you guys have found this week.
So we went hunting in Georgia and door knocked several places and tried to get on here and there, a farm, and didn't pan out. And then finally we got onto this field site near Ringgold, Georgia. And Nick Emilio, who was there hunting with us, his first signal out there was a eagle breastplate. And then we didn't find anything else in that field. I dug one eagle button and that was it. There was nothing else in the field. So we moved on to the next property next door, and I dug one 3-ringer, and then I got a deep signal on my GPX that sounded just like a bullet, and I dug about 13, 14 inches deep maybe, and pulled out another eagle breastplate that was in really nice shape. So that definitely caught me off guard.
I bet it did. How many eagle breastplates do you have now?
That was the fifth one.
Fifth one.
Yeah.
Good job. So I know your dad Chuck. He made a great find, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did. He definitely did.
Yeah, what was it that you found, Chuck?
Well, this was the next day, and we were thinking, oh, this is a pretty good spot. Obviously, we wanted to try a few houses and properties nearby, so we had one in mind, but we spotted another across the tracks, and so anyway, we went over there, and probably 200 yards or so from where Riley found the breastplate, I got a fairly loud signal. Sounded just like a clad quarter, honestly, and I thought, you got to dig it, even though it's too shallow to be anything good. I mean, it was just an absolutely almost mint perfect 1838 dime. It was just amazing looking. And so it was one of those rare occasions where I trounced Riley. That happens like once every. I think it only happened once, come to think of it. But generally speaking, I'm his driver and help carry the stuff and enjoy his finds, obviously. But I pretty much pretty much kicked your rear end yesterday.
I'll admit you got me on that one.
If anybody hadn't seen that yet, go to Riley's Facebook page, and man, it is beautiful. I mean, it's unreal that it come out of the ground that way, and then I mean, you just don't find them that way every day.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was really clean too when it came out. It just didn't have anything stuck to it. It was only like 1 inch deep, sitting on top of a flat rock with just a little bit of grass roots on the top of it. So it's kind of an amazing.
You know, it sat right there since it was lost.
Yeah, I think it was literally untouched and sat there, you know, not even a foot on it for 180 years or whatever.
Yeah, probably lost that on the way home from the mint, the way it looked to me.
Oh, yeah. Looks like somebody just cracked it out of a graded coin package.
I know it. It was beautiful. Had just a little bit of toning, but, beautiful, beautiful coin. How did you guys, first to you, Chuck, I guess, what interested you in metal detecting? And did you start and then Riley come on, or did you kind of start together, or how did that take place?
It's a good question. Riley and I we sort of started just exploring different things around our area, just different historic things. We'd hike a lot, go down an old stagecoach road that's near our house, and there's a railroad from the 1870s. It's about a mile north of our house. So we started doing that sort of explorations, just hiking, you know, looking for weird stuff to get into. He's homeschooled, so he was cooped up in the house all week, and I'm self-employed, so I was able to have a little flexibility on what we did and when. Anyway, we just started finding the old historic things, and we realized that the train station for the old rail line, which has now been out of commission for years, but we realized there was a train station not too far from our house. So, you know, thinking like most people that buy a detector, oh, wow, I'm going to go get rich and find a bunch of gold coins. You know, I thought, well, there's got to be people loading train over here. You know, there's going to be some coins. You know, I started checking out what was the fare in 1870. You know, all these visions and delusions of grandeur in my head. So I got a machine, and then I got busy. It was more difficult to operate than I thought. It was a Tesoro Tejon, which is a great machine, but too many knobs for me. And so I ran it a little bit, dug up a bunch of railroad spikes, and thought, this is too much work, too many rocks, gravel everywhere. So I just kind of set it down. Well, Riley, again, bored to death at homeschooling, he does his stuff, and then he's sitting around the house. He starts running the machine and finding stuff. He's calling me, Dad, there's a Civil War camp in our backyard, and that kind of stuff. You know? And he did literally find the eagle button in our front yard.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a camp, but of course at first I'm like, I don't think so. But then afterwards, he really just stayed with it in spite of me really not being too encouraging early on, and just kind of took off from there. So he got me started more than me getting him started.
Yeah.
That sounds great. And then, I mean, I wished I'd had the opportunity to hunt with my dad that way. And then, but I mean, it's like all the stuff that you found now. And then, I mean, you're young, and so I can't wait. One day you'll be too old to be out digging, and then I can't wait to see your relic table that you set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 38 when Riley was born, so you know, that's a pretty big gap. But he's shaved some years off of me, I think, with all this hiking. And I mean, I've been forced to rediscover some of what I thought was lost as far as hiking. You know, 10 miles, 50, in some cases 15 miles in a day. But he's pretty relentless. And so it's good to just, you know, keep up with him, and it's been a great experience for the both of us. Probably more so me than him even.
What is it like, Riley, to be able to go out and hunt with your dad like that?
Oh, it's great. It's you know, everybody, you know, some people don't like hunting alone. You're like, it's kind of creepy out here, but just digging out here alone. But I mean, it's a good time to A, have a digging partner, and B, to just bond with your dad out there. You know, just enjoying the great outdoors and saving some relics. So it's amazing. It's really awesome.
I remember that my dad and I, we liked to fish together and what have you. Of course, he died whenever I was 17 years old, so I didn't have the opportunity to do a lot with him, you know. But now then, I've got a grandson that is interested. Now, we've got 11 grandchildren, Chuck, so I'm an old man too. But I've got one grandson that is really interested, and he's 8 years old, and he wants to detect all the time. And he found his first silver last week, and it is just simply a joy to me. So I know it is for you to be able to watch Riley progress like he has.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be. I think his school environment allowed him, the flexibility there allowed him to kind of pursue something that was really matched his aptitude. Obviously, he's got pretty good visual recognition skills and things like that. And it's just, it's been a circumstance where he can take his natural God-given talents and find an outlet for it that, is fulfilling and something that he's passionate about. So it's been really encouraging to see that. And that's the real reward for me. I mean, obviously, the artifacts are a big part of it and the day-to-day motivation. But, the bigger story is just seeing somebody discover their talents and their skills. And I think that's one of the important things this hobby offers. You not only do you get to learn about history and research, but you learn to identify different components of things, and it forces you to do some deductive reasoning that you might not discover otherwise.
Chuck, what is one of the most memorable moments that you had with Riley out digging?
Oh, man, there's so many of them. Some of them circulate around, compelling sort of discoveries, and then others are centered around, being on a piece of property that we thought we had permission to, and having somebody come up just going berserk.
that does happen.
Yeah. The wife says, "Sure, we don't mind," and then the husband shows up and he's just, off his rocker
or vice versa.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. What about you, Riley?
Unfortunately, some of my finds were during the week when I hitched rides. Some of my best finds during the week when I hitched rides with people. But yeah, like he said, people going completely nuts on us. But I'll tell you, one of the most memorable moments came about a couple months ago. I dug a CS wreath buckle, and I swear the people in that neighborhood must have thought we just escaped an insane asylum. We were jumping around and yelling and rolling on the ground and weeping and pretty much everything that you can think of, because I mean it was just completely unexpected, and it was something that both of us had always wanted to find, and it was awesome. It was like 30 seconds of heaven.
But now KG and Ringy kind of opened up the door where we can roll on the ground and jump in the trees and flip and flop, whenever we find something. But isn't it amazing, though, or isn't it better whenever you've got somebody that you really care about with you whenever you find something?
Oh, yeah,
like that.
Where you can share in the find with them. Yeah, it's almost like, for the times that I've been digging alone and found something good, it's like I just turn around, I'm like, I got to show this to somebody. Like, there's somebody needs to be here that we can both just go crazy about what I just dug.
Yeah.
But I mean, it really gets on my nerves when I dig something and nobody's around for me to show it to. Like, it's just like I got to find somebody.
Yeah, we're pretty reserved. We generally are like, okay, if you find something good, just be quiet, because there's probably more good stuff, and if you start hollering too much, somebody's going to come out and you won't get to find it.
Or somebody's going to call the police.
I'm always telling Ralph, just okay, and he's learned now. It's like, hey, check this out. But yeah, that wreath though, that was so unexpected.
Oh yeah, we couldn't even,
because there were crushed cans everywhere.
Yeah.
We were just popping plugs and flipping
pieces
stuff
of
out.
copper plumbing pipes everywhere, like 6 inches deep, and to dig a Confederate wreath buckle 2 inches in the ground is just,
Man, C7, we run up on cans and stuff like that, and we kind of just hunted a little bit, and it's like, we're done with it. Now these guys, maybe we ought to go back to some of our sites with the cans.
Well, and that's a good lesson for people that are listening that may be new to the hobby or what have you, because you wouldn't believe the number of hunters that will tell you that, I just thought it was another can, and it's probably a plate of some kind, because of the massive size of it. I got a friend in Ohio, and he had worked a colonial site that was kind of on the corner of an intersection of farmland, and he said, I'd worked the inside there where the old house was, and I'd found all kind of flat buttons and what have you, and he said, I thought I'm going to work out close to the road. I knew that there would be cans out there, And he said, I probably dug 12 straight cans. And he said, I thought, I'm just going to get them out of the way because I think that it's close enough to the house that it ought to have something. And he said, I got another signal just exactly like the can. And he said, I just nonchalant throwed my shovel in the ground and popped it. It was an 8 real.
Oh, my gosh.
And so it just, you've got to dig them.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
That's part of this hobby is you got to dig it.
Yeah, dig it all.
That's right.
You know, I dig every single signal that's, you know, above iron. And even the big iron I dig sometimes, depending on where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, the benefits of youth.
Yeah.
You get more selective. I find that I'm just like, I don't know about that one. I think I'm going to look for a little lower hanging fruit sometimes. Whereas that's why he finds, you know, probably 90 times more stuff than I do.
Yeah. And you're like me probably, Chuck. You just keep working the signal, trying to talk yourself out of stooping down there and getting it. Because as your knees and your hips and everything go to, getting older, and I got to use my shovel now to get up. And so if I go down to the ground to dig something, I want to have some pretty good confidence that I'm finding something there.
Yeah, there's a lot of times I'll, especially later in the day, on some of those 10 and 12 mile days, I'll be like, I'm not digging this one, but I kicked the ground 3 or 4 places here if you want to check them out. And there's been a couple of times it was some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, a terrible signal where it was something good. Yeah.
So it's good, you know, the teamwork thing works great, but it's like I say, my best satisfaction is just seeing him grow into this, this aptitude that he's got. Obviously, it's just been really rich for me.
What has been y'all's evolution on machines, starting out and then progressing up to now?
Okay, so we've used, I'm pretty sure, 3 machines. So we started out with the Tejon, and we kind of shared it and hunted together. Then my dad bought me an AT Pro, and then he actually bought another AT Pro for himself, and we used the Tesoro as a backup.
You won one, though.
Yeah, but that's the one in South Carolina. And so then we hunted with that for maybe, 2.5 years, something like that, 2.5, 3 years with just AT Pros, and we switched out the coils and stuff like that. And then maybe about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years, we switched over to Deus's. And we went back to some of the sites that we had hunted with the AT Pros, that we'd hunted hard and found some stuff that the AT Pros missed. But it was, I've got the GPX too that I use occasionally, but I wouldn't really count that as a main machine. It's kind of like a backup.
Mm-hmm. That's what I use mine for, or DIV. When I go to DIV, I'll use it there. But unless I'm hunting a Civil War campsite, I'll use the GPX there. But I've started using the XP ORX, and of course it's turned out to be a great machine. And of course I just use it strictly for home sites, and I've been over places that we've pounded with the other machines, several other machines, and I'm pulling good stuff out. And, it's a great machine so far.
Yeah.
I love the GPX. It was a hard machine to learn. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah. It definitely is.
Because you have no numbers. You're simply going by tones. And you go by the smoothness and the length of the tone, really, don't you?
Yeah.
You're not wanting you're not wanting that signal to break. But then it depends on the ground. There are times whenever a bad signal turns into a good relic.
Yeah, but bullets. When I was digging in Virginia, bullets were breaking a lot. I had like the same settings that I would dig a smooth bullet signal with.
Yeah.
It was just depends on the ground, the way the bullet's sitting. GPX, of course, will blank on a shallow bullet. So, if it's less than 4 inches deep, it'll blank on it. But, it's pretty tough to learn. But once you get the hang of it, it's really a fun machine to dig with. It
is. And I've got the 10x5 coil. And I learned pretty early on that you can turn that sensitivity down, or the gain down, to about 5 in a lot of those places that's got a lot of iron, and just work it real slow. Get all the shallow stuff out first. And then as you work a site, turn your gain up and go ahead, like you say. There are a lot of bullets that are shallow that'll just blank out on it. You think it's just big iron.
Yeah. What do you run your gain at on your GPX?
When I first start out on a site, like if I'm just starting out on a camp, I usually have it at 9 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, it depends on if there's a power line there or not. But I usually run it at about 9 or 10.
Yeah, and we run ours. Well, Loy accidentally found this out, and then it was he was getting signals like crazy, and then of course it was real quiet. The machine was running quiet, and then he looked down, and his gain was like on 4 or 5. And then so we started running them at 4 and 5, and it's a lot more stable. And then you could actually hear them deep tones with that lower gain. And I'd always run mine up pretty much 13, something like that, and then hardly could get it stable. Never really could. And then finally, once I lowered my gain, it started getting stable. So, and then I've come to realize your aftermarket coils for them, it doesn't help with the stabilization on the detector either.
Yeah.
Like your Commander coils, I mean, they were made for that machine. So, I mean, a lot of my Commander coils are more stable than the aftermarket.
Yeah, that's the Double D that I use is like I haven't used another coil on it except for the Commander coil that came with it. Mm-hmm. But at times that Double D can get unstable, especially if that GPX will sing if you're within a mile of a power line. Yeah. I mean, it'll start driving you nuts.
But you can go to cancel on there and stop that, but you lose depth and everything. Yeah. My Double D went out, and of course I hollered at Debbie, and finally she sent me another fairly quick. But I started using my mono coil. I love that mono coil. It is deeper, it is more stable, and I bought a 12x15 mono. I love it. Now my 10x5 is a Double D, and my 11 is a Double D. But I'm really, really liking the mono coil. I mean, it's you have no discrimination, but you really don't have any discrimination with a GPX anyway.
Well, yeah.
Have you used one much, Chuck?
I've used Riley's a couple of times, and it was in an iron-infested patch there by the railroad track.
Oh yeah,
where we had that fairly big camp. And it was kind of a waste of time for me because I was like such a steep learning curve. And we really don't use it too much unless we go to Virginia.
Yeah, there are a couple sites I use it on that have like weird dirt where VLF won't get much depth, and or even spots where the fines are like 15, 16 inches deep, and a Deus won't even get to it, and I just need something that goes deeper. I'll use it there, or if I'm looking for trash pits or something.
Well, I'm more and more using mine with the small coil. I'm actually hunting some house sites with it because I've got comfortable enough that by turning the gain down, I've got comfortable enough I can pick those pretty good targets out at you.
Well, you might not have found that breastplate with your Deus.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's pretty deep.
It would be.
Didn't you say it was on edge?
Yeah, it was at an angle. It would be a weird. I probably wouldn't dig it on a Deus, honestly, because it'd be a weird, scratchy signal.
And how deep did you say it was? 13, 15
Yeah,
inches?
it was. I didn't measure it, but it was at least probably 5-6 inches above the top of the pinpointer.
Okay.
So I mean, it was down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys like hunting home sites or Civil War sites better?
I personally like Civil War sites better, but I mean, there can be a lot of good stuff in home sites. That wreath buckle, for instance, that I dug was in a home site, and I've dug several Confederate buttons out of home sites. So I mean, and they're generally more overlooked too.
Yeah, a lot of the home sites that we are on are in areas that had Civil War activity nearby, or were, Memphis fell pretty early on, of course, and it just became really logistics for supply and the rail lines and all that. So we do a lot of hunting along those infrastructure lines and bridges and trestles and various small towns along Memphis-Charleston Railroad. That's kind of our mainstay.
Are y'all getting into any water hunting now?
There's really not any place to water hunt in Memphis.
So much mud.
All the creeks are like 10 feet deep in mud and sand.
Yeah.
Every now and then we'll find one that has a clay or gravel bottom. Like, for those of you that have seen my martingale that I dug, that came out of one of the only creeks I've seen in our whole area that has a clay bottom in it. But
you got some good stuff out of there.
Yeah.
Didn't you get your hat letter on out of there as well?
Yeah, the little gold B hat pin came out of there, and a Williams cannonball, and
Man, just imagine what's in the rest of the creeks.
Oh, I know.
Man.
What was in them?
I mean,
Buried.
but it's impossible to get in them because it's silt and mud, and it just goes down in there.
There was a vacuum cleaner thrown over the edge, a tractor inner tube. We were trying to pull a tractor inner tube back to see what might be under it, and I reached over and grabbed it and yanked it back. There's a copperhead under there.
Man.
You know, it was up on the edge of the bank, so we were a little more cautious about that spot after that.
Yeah, what's in your future as far as like your education? What are you looking to major in and do? Is history teacher or anything in your future?
I was actually thinking about archaeology, going into that department, because I mean, you know, I like digging and I like relics, and you know, you get paid to dig and look at relics all day.
That's right.
So you know,
You can't go wrong with that.
yeah, you can't. But yeah, I was looking at that, and you know, I play basketball, so that's also an option. But
Yeah.
Underwater archaeologist, I mean, of course, you could get on these treasure ships and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just
Exactly, yeah.
live off the boat, and that would be great. So.
Now, what schools offer a degree in archaeology?
well, my University of Memphis offers one, and I think they're aren't they one of the best in the country with it, Dad?
I'm not sure.
I think they have.
I know there's a lot of laws now that stipulate they have to have historical surveys in areas that have, you know, potential for historic artifacts, things like that. There's becoming more sensitivity in a lot of cases about some of the, you know, past record and making sure it's not disturbed. So I know there's a local archaeologist in Memphis that does a lot of that stuff. Actually, I wanted to introduce you to him. Guys, his name is Guy Weaver, but he's pretty connected with monetizing the opportunity to save history. You know, he runs his own private thing.
Yeah.
And his wife works for the museum locally, which is the good connection as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And it kills me that a lot of these construction sites, and I mean, I think everybody should be able to hunt a construction site. Of course, you go to these construction sites and ask the supervisor, he's, no, I don't want you on there or whatever, because they're scared you're going to find something. Well, I mean, let us on there and get what is there before you destroy it altogether.
No, exactly. I
Right.
mean, you know, it's not like the odds of you finding anything that would stop their development are exceedingly low. I mean, people always think you're going to go out there and, you know, find some kind of box of gold or a dead body or something and, you know, stop their development. But, you know,
I think that's probably the biggest problem, is that they are afraid that you may dig up a Native American grave or something,
Yeah.
and then, you know, the government's going to step in, and then there's going to be all of this red tape that they're going to have to go through, and then
Right.
they've already got all this money invested, so, you know, they think, we're not having any problems right now. Let's don't open the door to a problem, you know.
yeah.
I think that in the future there's going to be, you know, there's always this conflict and friction between the archaeologists and the military community, and it's probably valid points on both sides of that. But, you know, there's this elitism around a lot of the archaeology stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that's been buried waiting on an archaeologist to come, or because they weren't interested.
Yeah.
But I think you know, as time goes on, there's more of an opportunity to demonstrate the professional side of metal detecting, and you know, the record keeping and documenting associated with that, and archaeologists may, hopefully, thanks to, you know, people like Riley and some of the younger people that are a little more tech oriented and the new machines coming about, I think it'll be an opportunity to maybe bridge that gap and offer some more sites for detectorists to get on. I'm hoping that's the case.
Yeah, and I've worked with one archaeologist on it's a state park. It's a historic site that began in 1798 in our county, and it was a church group that moved in, and that's now a state park. But they didn't know where the original building was. They knew it was like 150 yards from the existing building now, which was 1805, but they knew that there was an earlier one. And he knew that I did that, and so he said, would you work with me and go out there and let's see if we can find it? And I said, yeah. And so we went out. Within 30 minutes, I located the building. He said, I would have had to dug this whole park up because I had no idea which direction.
Yeah.
So I found it, and then as I would dig, I would mark everything if he wasn't there, and we worked great together. You know,
Exactly.
of course. Now the park kept everything that we found, which it wasn't that much, but I mean they kept all of it. But that's fine with me. All I want to do is experience it, document it. I don't have to have the relics at my house.
Well,
you know?
yeah, just, I mean, reaching across the aisle and creating that connectivity, too, with the, I guess, the academic world and the more workaday relic hunting crowd.
Right, and they're doing that at Montpelier. They're working, archaeologist and detectorist Chuck Smalley is involved in that.
Yeah.
And I think that those things are great, you know,
Yeah.
because we can learn about documentation from them. They can take shortcuts because we can find in 30 minutes what it may take them a year to find, you know.
Yeah, I actually worked with an archaeologist in South Carolina on the site of a trading post on the Ashley River outside Charleston. The trading post was from 1668. It was the first one in the area. And they had dug up the building itself where the original site was, but it was such a large area around it with the old road and, you know, areas where they may or may not have, you know, stored stuff, you know, parked wagons, carriages, etc. You know, he wanted me to dig around that area, and I ended up finding a lot of stuff. I would dig a signal and mark it with a flag and write out exactly what this item was on the flag. He'd come over and measure the depth and all that, and then he actually let me keep the finds and just made a record of them with the site.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah, and I ended up finding a 1674 King Charles II farthing out there, and a really cool side plate to a British Tower musket that was like a dragon, like a serpent.
Yeah.
And a few other things, a bunch of musket balls.
Spectacle buckle.
Yeah, I found a 1620 to 1680 spectacle buckle, and a few little brass pieces.
That was a great opportunity as well. Riley had made a connection through social media, which is a great networking tool, you know, for people that share an interest. And thanks to his friendship with Brian Davis, it was an opportunity for the American Digger staff to come out. You know, they all participated to an extent with some of the archaeological mapping and things like that. So it was good. We all picked up some wire flags, marked what we found. It was really a good time for everybody.
Yeah.
I think it was beneficial, too, for history to have
I think
that record.
I think it was Mark on the American Digger staff was digging out there. There was no modern stuff out there. Like, any signal you got was going to be something good.
Right.
And Mark pulled out a silver coin, and it was a mercury dime. And he thought for sure it was going to be like a half real or something, or you know, a real early 1600s one. Pulled it out. It was all worn and slick, like it was something super old, and it was like a 1929 mercury dime or something.
We hunted a site that's an old colonial site. There was a little bit of modern junk on it, but not a whole lot. I mean, it's one of those sites where you're going to dig every repeatable signal.
Yeah.
Jeff dug the jetton that will probably date between 1600, you know. And the guy that we had with us from, where's he from? Kansas?
Kansas, yep,
Yeah, or
exactly.
Nebraska. He's back and forth. He dug a 1939 mercury dime, you know, and he said, I got silver. And I said, it's a real, I know it is. And so we run over, and it's a mercury dime. You know?
Yeah, in that spot, you would have, I mean, the newest thing I dug was maybe World War II.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I'm sorry, probably Civil War was the newest thing I dug out there.
Yeah.
And then here he digs a mercury dime. And, of course, he ends up digging, 2 wheat pennies?
Yeah, I got 2 wheat pennies, and they were right together, so it's probably some farmer that was taking a nap under the tree or something.
Man, I one of these. It's crazy how these silver coins get in these places like that. These coins that obviously date after all the action on the site. I was hunting a picket camp, and I dug an 1857 seated dime and an 1857 Flying Eagle cent. And there were bullets, and I dug a Wisconsin button, and there was practically nothing in there that was post-Civil War. And I get this good signal right between the Flying Eagle cent and the 1857 seated dime, and it's a real scratchy signal. And I'm digging the hole out, and I dig like 8-inch deep hole, and I run the coil over the plug, and nothing in there. I run the coil over the tailings, and there's a screaming high tone, like it's perfect silver signal. And I'm getting all excited, and I brush the dirt bag. Sure enough, there's a silver dime, and I see it's the back of a seated. And I'm wiping it off, and it's 1876. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, are you kidding me? How the heck did that get here?
Yeah, but that would have been a thrill back in the days when a Merc dime was awesome.
Oh, well,
for
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's this progression. It's kind of like you just need more and more and more.
And older and older.
Yeah, I mean, now the mercury dimes are like the wheat penny of the silver world.
Yeah.
The first time my wife ever went detecting with me, it was like we was in the middle of a 105th Ohio Volunteer Infantry camp, and I'd never dug anything but Civil War stuff there. And all of a sudden, she gets a signal, and she's like, huh. And it was a signal she could find, actually. She'd never used a metal detector. And so she gets it out of the ground. She said, I think it's a coin. And, of course, I go running up thinking a large cent or something. And I was like, oh, don't rub it. And I looked at it, and I was like, I kind of rubbed it a little bit. And it was like a 1985 quarter. And then, and she's like, what is it? What is it? I said, it's a quarter.
Yeah,
oh, my gosh.
Man, it was terrible.
That is terrible.
And that's the last time she went metal detecting.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, you just got to be persistent.
Yeah, it's just keep on digging, basically.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't find relics on the couch.
Exactly.
I know, Riley, that you also are working with American Digger. It's a great organization, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
I mean, it's Butch and them have really, really been instrumental in promoting the hobby in a big way.
Yeah. The rest of their staff is they're all amazing people.
Just quality. It's a quality from the magazine is quality. The people that run it, of course, it all starts with them being just top tier people.
Yeah. And, easy to deal with, all laid back. You don't get no more country than Butch.
Yeah. I mean, it's what you see is what you get with Butch.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That's right.
Or Bill Hayes. He just walked by. Bill Hayes did something. You can get a little bit more countryr than Butch.
One way or the other. Yeah. Well, guys, we really appreciate y'all coming on.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure.
Give everybody your Facebook, your YouTube, and all of that.
Okay, so I have a YouTube channel called Civil War Unearthed, and a Facebook channel, a Facebook page, and an Instagram account under the same name. So if y'all want to check out some relics and some other stuff on there, some videos of me finding some stuff, then definitely check that out and watch some videos and etc. But that's basically it.
Chuck, do you have any social media pages that you show your finds on?
Not really. A lot of mine aren't really show worthy. A lot of times I spend, honestly, I'll be talking to the landowners and the homeowners so that Riley can hunt without people bothering him.
Yeah.
So that's part of my role. And plus it kind of builds connectivity with neighboring sites and, just relationship building. Well, there's some sites that have taken us 3 years to get on that produced really good results, but we just go to the community, get to know the people, go to the fish fries, things like that. So my role is more oriented around that, but he does have a sister channel called History Unearthed that I throw a few things on, and I put stuff on there with some of my local friends. We throw a few things on there.
That's only on Facebook, not YouTube.
Yeah, it's Facebook as well.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something, Riley. Enjoy this time. And the same for you, Chuck. Enjoy this time together because you don't know what I would give to be able to hunt 1 hour with my dad.
Oh, yeah.
So treasure it, and best of luck to you guys in the future.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. And thanks for joining us on the show today.
Thank you very much.
Chuck
and Relic.
We are bringing on our next parent and child. Oh, okay. We got to change the plan. This is a live show, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, don't you love live shows?
I do.
Oh, it's great. I mean, we're sitting right out here in the middle
Thank
of
you.
nowhere. We're sitting out here, we're looking at all the relics out there. We got a big bottle table sitting up in front of us.
Yeah, we do. And I thought we had people that was doing all of this work right here for us, that they'd have everybody all lined up and ready to go. I think we've got to change the plan. We are going to have Shannon and Emily Copeland on in a little bit. I thought that they were coming on right now. But I think that we're going to have Sean McGinnis and Carolyn Harwick. And, well, I've seen Amy Henson coming this way, but she turned around.
Yeah.
She don't want to talk to me no more. But we've got Carolyn and Sean from Kellyco. And we got a big announcement that we're going to make with these guys as well.
Oh, I seen you cheat on your diet just a few minutes ago.
I couldn't help it.
I seen you. He ate a hamburger, actually a soy burger with the bun too.
Yeah,
two of them.
Well, I've decided that I need a few carbohydrates, especially as hard as I've worked today. Yeah, we've got Sean McGinnis and we got Carolyn Harwick from Kellyco Metal Detectors. Welcome to the show, folks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah. How's the show going for you guys?
Oh, we're having a lot of fun. We're meeting a lot of people. We're talking a lot about our products. We're having fun.
Yeah. Is this your first Civil War show that you've been to?
Yeah, it is. It's my first one.
What about you, Sean?
Definitely my first.
This is our third one, and then, I mean, we love them. I mean, it's just all the history and all the stuff you get to see that you didn't even know existed before you've seen it. So.
Yeah. I was telling the crew that it feels like there's a ginormous field right across the street that's just begging for a hunt right now. That's the only thing it's missing.
That's right.
Put a hunt together with this, and we'll double the attendance next year. It'd be great.
Oh, yeah, but they won't allow that because this is a fort, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some kind of fort.
Well, I'll tell you what, you start, and then we'll follow you.
Yeah, I know.
You're the leader, buddy. You can.
And they say that there's good bass in this lake back here, so it looks like we could do something, to get everybody to have something to do outside of it. Kellyco has been in business and supplying the metal detecting needs for the world for 60 years, right, Sean?
True story.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And you are now the new owner of that.
Well, I'm the president. I work for the ownership group.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell us how all that came about.
Oh my gosh. The ownership group operates a number of different e-commerce companies, and along the way, one of the other businesses that they started is a fulfillment center. So they fulfill and warehouse and handle inventory for other e-commerce companies. And Kellyco became one of their first non-family owned clients. And the ownership group that owns that fulfillment business became very close friends with the Auerbach family. And after Stu passed away and the family decided that they were interested in potentially selling the business, and that relationship sort of took over and took hold, and the ownership group purchased the business in late October of last year.
And Carolyn, you've moved the operations from down in Florida to where now?
Well, we have two offices today. The ownership group and that fulfillment center is based in Knoxville. So we've been shipping out. Kellyco's been shipping out of Knoxville for a couple of years now. But we did keep an office in Orlando. So the employees that came with us when we acquired the business, there've been a little bit of turnover since the acquisition, but we do have an office just north of Orlando in Castleberry, where Carolyn leads the customer care team down there. And Mark Tominski, a lot of folks are familiar with Mark. He's been around the business for a long time.
Yeah.
He's actually come and gone and come and gone and come back again. I think he left Kellyco twice, but he's been there for more than 10 years. He's now our purchasing director. He's leading all the relationships we have with the manufacturers and making sure that we never run out of product. That's his primary job. So he's based in Orlando as well.
Right.
So, Carolyn, how did you get into the mix-up with them? So.
Well, I was getting ready to go on a metal detecting trip up to Georgia and North Carolina, and I got this phone call from Mark Hoover. Hey, I think you should talk to Mark Tominski. You're still looking for a job, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, just talk to him, hear him out. So I called him, and we spoke, and he's like, what time are you leaving for your trip? I said, around 10 o'clock. Can you be at Kellyco at 8 in the morning? I'm like, absolutely. So I got there, and it's probably the easiest interview that I've ever done because all I had to do was talk about metal detecting. I mean, it did not feel like an interview at all. And before I left, Sean and Jeremy, they said, hey, you want to start on Tuesday when you get back? And so I started, and I've been with them since.
Man, that's great. You mean somebody actually pays you to play with metal detectors?
Yeah.
Man, that's of course you've got a lot of traveling in between now and when you first started. So I see you traveling all the time. So.
Yes, I am.
But it's good traveling. So.
Oh yeah. Get to meet a lot of people, get to represent Kellyco, learn a lot more, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, my favorite Carolyn story, she's been recruited by the woman that she's worked for in 2 or 3 different places before. She's been calling her, begging her to come to work, and she's like, are you kidding me? Why would I ever leave my favorite job ever?
That's right.
1 week in, and she can't have enough. She gets to do what she loves every single day. It's great.
Yeah.
And also, Carolyn, you are the president of the Central Florida Metal Detecting Club. What do you do in your spare time?
I don't know. Lately, I've been going for helicopter rides, kayaking, ziplining. I don't know. Find stuff to do.
Yeah, I've been watching their kayaking videos, and of course they're beautiful. And of course, down in the what is that little river called? Springs.
I've been to Silver Springs and DeLeon Springs.
Silver Spring. That's water's beautiful, and then it's just as clear. And I would love to go there sometime and just see.
Well, next time you're in Florida.
All right, maybe next week.
Okay.
And Sean, you didn't know all the backstory of Carolyn, the things that you've learned now about all the shenanigans that she pulls on those Central Florida metal detecting hunts.
She's famous.
Yeah, she is. And some of them now. Are you having second thoughts about hiring her?
Not a lick. I'll never have it. Nope, she's been great. She's training our team. It's been really, really awesome. I mean, especially as a guy like me who's never swung a detector yet, my job is to focus on the business and make sure that we're taking care of customers. We just hire experts like Carolyn to be able to make sure that we're doing that every single day.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to change that, Sean. We're going to have to get you to swing in the coil.
That's right.
I got enough hobbies, honestly. Between golf and collecting pocket knives with my one son and collecting wristwatches with the other, I feel like I'd go bankrupt if I had a third or fourth hobby.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know yet.
She keeps trying to get me out there. It's going to be a push you, pull me thing. We're going to wait, 5 years from now, we'll see who wins.
I'm taking bets that I'm going to win.
She's a force of nature. Yeah.
I will tell you one thing. From what I know about Carolyn, she is very competitive. Very competitive. But she was a great acquisition for the company. There's no doubt about it. And I see a lot of great things happening there. And there's some great things happening between you guys and Relics Radio.
True story.
Yeah. You want to give the good news to everybody?
Yeah, Kellyco is incredibly excited and pleased to be coming on board as a sponsor with Relics Radio. We're really excited about it. Cannot wait. We've got great things in store and looking forward to partnering with you guys. Oh, Mark's in the background with a shocked look on his face. We know that's not true. Great fake job, Mark. Yeah, we could not be more happy. I feel like it's a great partnership, and we're excited to get it off the ground.
We are extremely excited and looking forward to working with you guys. I mean, Kellyco is the name that has dominated the metal detecting sales market for a long time. What is your vision, though, going forward with this company?
Yeah, honestly, we just want to take care of customers. Our goal is to be viewed. We can't claim this mantle, but our goal is to be viewed by every metal detectorist as the superstore. That comes with carrying nothing but the best products from the best manufacturers. Our job is to do that every single day, and we're continually looking at our inventory, making sure that we have the right products in stock. We're expanding that footprint dramatically. We've onboarded probably close to a dozen new brands or rehabilitated old relationships. So over the next several months, you'll see new product hitting our website on a pretty consistent basis. One of the ones we're most excited about right now, honestly, is Gravedigger Tools. We've just signed an agreement to be the exclusive retailer for Gravedigger. So we can't wait to get our first shipment from Eric and get it. I know you've had him on the show, and
right.
Actually the demand you all created some production issues for him. we're hoping that he can keep up with the demand that we intend to create for him as well. So we're really excited about that partnership and looking and hopefully finding many more like it. Our goal is to just make sure that we put the best products in the hands of every detectorist and to help spread the word of how much fun this hobby can be.
And you guys seem really open, which kind of attracted me to Calico. You're real open, wanting to know what the detectorists need, what they want, their input into it, to where you're not just saying, this is what we got, it. You either like it or you lump it. You want to know what we need.
Oh, we sure do.
Out in this world.
Yeah, there are that feedback mechanism is critical, and we talked about this one line. I know recently the one example is we had a product that was sort of languishing on the shelves, was getting beat up by some of the customers. Like every good solid website in the world today, we take product feedback from customers that bought from us. We were getting a couple 1-star reviews from one of these sort of hand digging tools. We took it out and tested it, and it bent right away. And I said, that's it. We're not selling another one. We pulled it down off the website that day. We have 700 plus of them in stock, and we're trying to figure out how to dispose of them in a way that does not misstate what the product's capabilities are. But we are not going to sell any more to metal detectorists, because when you stick that thing into a compacted dirt arena and you try and use it to dig, which is what most people would do, it bends. It's great for maybe a home gardener or someone who's got exactly right. Where that's one of the things we're thinking about is how do we go and find every gardening club in the country and just donate 20 to everybody. Just raise your hand and let us know you want some. We'll gladly ship them to you. But I'm not going to put us in the position where we're putting the Calico name at risk because we're shipping bad product. So we've done that on a number of occasions already, and we're going to continue to do it, and we're going to continue to ask for feedback, and that great feedback from our customers is the lifeblood of any business.
And testing, too.
Yep.
Right, Carolyn?
Yeah, absolutely. It's important to get it out there, test it, see what it is, get feedback from the items. That way we know and we hear your voice.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like you were saying, the digging tool that was bending, now that's a lot of companies, they would just kind of send it off and then still ship it out and then, of course, not say anything about it. But you guys, taking them out, took them off the market and then is not selling them. That tells a lot. And as I'm sitting here, I'm talking to you guys, and I feel like I can trust you guys. I can sense that. So, it's going to be, Calico is going a long way. So.
We appreciate it. That's she jokes about me not being a detectorist, but I think that's I think having fresh eyes as an outsider is actually a value that I bring, and some of the other folks that we've hired have not been detectorists, right? So Carolyn's training them with the things that she knows. But I think having that external viewpoint of just sort of new guy eyes, we call it new guy eyes, I've never operated in this space. I don't know what brand is good. All we're looking at is the sales data. We're looking at how people interact with our website every day. We're looking at how they interact with our sales team every day when they pick up the phone and call. We just want to provide a great customer experience. So that begins with carrying the right product. The second part is making sure that we have everything in stock, and the third thing is getting that shipped to you really quickly. We just actually had a piece of feedback from a customer today or yesterday talking about how we beat Amazon. It's pretty rare. I'm never going to claim that we can do that consistently. But he placed an order, and 22 hours later, the product hit his doorstep. We ship same day. If you order from us by 5 o'clock and you order via FedEx, we guarantee that product, if it's in stock, is going out the door that day.
That is
for
amazing.
USPS, it's 3 o'clock cutoff if you're choosing United States Postal Service as your shipper. But we want to do as much of that as we possibly can. It's just about a great customer experience. Amazon has set the stage. We all have great expectations now because you want to be able to select a product, learn everything you can about it, order it quickly, and have it arrive on your doorstep seamlessly.
Yeah. And, being located in Knoxville, you're more centrally located where the distribution, you're not coming from Florida all the way up. You're kind of right in that middle. And we love that you're in Tennessee, Of course, that's not saying anything bad about any other part of the country, but this is home to us. And we love you guys being down there.
Well, and the folks that handle our shipping actually have a distribution center out in Salt Lake City as well. So one of the things we're exploring right now is putting half of our inventory out there so we can get to California and Arizona and Idaho and Montana just as quickly as we can get to Georgia or North Carolina or Maryland.
Yeah. Yeah, it is great, and we are so looking forward to working with you guys and doing some testing for you and just giving you feedback.
Yeah.
Because we got the pulse of the people that are doing this. We're able to talk to them on a weekly basis, and we know what works, and we know what doesn't work, and we know what people want and what they don't want. And you've got to have that. But then you've got to have the business side of it, because there's a lot more to it than just having a great machine and everything. Like you say, you got to be able to get it to them. You got to be able to service things, and there's just a lot involved in it.
Well, as an outsider, I can't tell you how much I love this space. I mean, the hobbyists, when you find a business or a vertical that's filled with passionate hobbyists like this one is, it's a real joy to operate. The passion comes through every single time we talk to customers. Even when things go wrong, you can tell how much they love what they do, and they want to be able to rely on that. The things that we're shipping out every day, they want to be able to rely on the team and the knowledge that we possess. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
Yep. And I can just see the smile on Carolyn's face right now. You are just so excited to be in this.
Oh yeah, it really is a dream come true. I still can't believe it. It's like I wake up to go to work and I'm like, oh okay. It's just something. Really is a dream come true being with Calico.
You wake up 3 hours early just to get up early to where hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to work.
Yeah.
She really does. She's doing a great job. The whole team is wonderful, and it's funny. We spend a lot of time talking about how we can better serve our customers, but we also spend a lot of time as a leadership team trying to figure out how we can fix our processes that are broken, so everyone on our team can do their jobs better. Carolyn could probably tell you some horror stories about the way we used to do things, and a lot of that's changed just in the last several months, and we continue to strive and look for new ways to make sure that we can solve our customers' problems every single day faster and faster. That's what it's all about.
Man.
The other thing is, it's not. It don't only stop with the customers. All of the employees, we keep all of our employees happy, making the faster processes, getting them out and detecting. We have Leilani here. She's been with the company. November will be 15 years, and she's so excited to finally. She got bitten by the metal detecting bug, and so we're just trying to keep the team happy, keep them motivated. If I come to Sean and I tell him, look, we're having trouble with this would be easier. He's on it. He fixes it. We take care of it, which is really good. So everybody's happy all around.
Yeah.
Well, we've been talking back and forth and been in this negotiation for a little while, and I have worked and talked with Amy Henson, and I pulled you aside earlier, and I said normally people kind of just don't say anything when they ought to, but I said I just want to tell you what a joy it has been to work with Amy over the past week or two. She's very professional. She makes you feel so comfortable. She wants to do things exactly in the right way, but she's courteous and friendly.
Yep.
And I've met her for the first time yesterday, and we're already joking and pulling pranks on one another. I told we went out to Longhorn last night and ate, and Sean has developed this brush. It's still in the development phase. He's wanting some input and everything. So he was telling me, I'm developing this brush, and it has these different components, and I want you guys' input. And I said, yeah. Amy told me about it, and I said, Amy said it wasn't worth a dime. And Amy's face, she's going, that's not true. He's lying. I didn't say that.
You had one job, Amy. Don't mess it up.
So I feel that comfortable with her. I feel that comfortable with Carolyn. I even feel that comfortable with you. And so I see a great relationship. And also, guys, we are going to be an affiliate of Calico.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna be able to get in touch with us. We're gonna make sure that they do you right.
That's
we're
right.
gonna make sure you get what you need. And I love this relationship. It's going to be good for us, and it's going to be good for you.
Yeah, it's great. There's nothing better than hearing back from customers. Customer feedback is, I said it before, I'll say it again, it's the lifeblood of any business, especially an online business. And honestly, every day, when every single person that places an order from us, that when you check out online, you get a little pop-up screen asking for feedback. I get dozens of those a week, maybe hundreds, and almost all of them are rating the experience 4 and 5 star. Every now and then we have a glitch, or the website's down, or they have trouble checking out, or what have you. But it's really great to see that level of successful, experiences and great transactions.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to getting more feedback from more directions from you and from all the customers that buy through you. So.
Yeah. And, something that you said a while ago, Jeff already addressed it or responded to it a little bit about the digger tool that would bend. And you've got a substantial stock of those. Yeah. Now, you've got two choices. You can lose money and save credibility, or you can lose credibility and save money. And you chose to save your credibility and lose the money, and that speaks volumes about what Calico is.
One of the values that we have internally is about operating with integrity every single day. It's always about doing the right thing. It doesn't mean the customer's always right, because sometimes customers aren't. I mean,
right.
I refuse to accept that as the... we've had some weird situations with folks who've come out of the woodwork and claimed things, and we want to investigate things thoroughly and factually and fully and put them in touch with the right folks, and we want to honor the obligations that we have as a company. And actually, it's funny, the day after we adopted that, integrity always sort of a company value, we got an actual message from a customer saying they felt like they were treated with integrity that very day. And I couldn't believe it. I forwarded the team. I was like, you got to be kidding me. What's the likelihood of that actually happening? And that's our objective. Every single day, we're not going to treat you like you're a rock star, even though you are. We're going to treat you like a great customer. We're going to ask you the right questions. We're going to make sure we get the right product in your hands. We're never going to overpromise. One of the things we did right away was we don't pay our sales reps on commission. That doesn't align to their interest with your interest. We pay them a strong enough salary and compensation package to have them be looking out for you as the customer, so your interests are aligned. One of the things we talked about yesterday was I love the affiliate model because it ensures that we as a business are aligned with you as an affiliate. You'll never feel pressure to recommend a product that you don't believe in.
Right.
If you're recommending product you believe in and we happen to carry it, that's great. And so that alignment of interest is really about serving customers at the end of the day, and that's the only thing we care about, is taking care of customers.
And, being an affiliate of Calico, if we see something that we feel is a really good need in the community of metal detecting, and we pass that along to you, you're going to begin to stock those things and try to meet that need.
Please. Yeah, the more the merrier. Yeah. And being a great partner, not only for customers and for affiliates, but our manufacturer partners are the real. I mean, if there's anyone that's a stronger lifeblood, I hate keep using that term. We feel an obligation to those manufacturers. One of the things we said to them very early on is, we don't ever want to be a company that's going out and competing with them. So we have no intent to ever go out and try and make a product that they would make.
Right.
We're not going to make detectors. We're not going to carry our own branded pinpointers ever, or headphones for that matter. That is not our business. We are a retail establishment. To be the superstore, you can't also be the producer, right? Mm-hmm. Netflix is facing this exact conundrum right now. They were a distributor of everybody's content, and then they went into the content business. And now every content producer now wants to be their own distributor, and they're not going to send
Netflix.
They're not going to send their content to Netflix. Disney's spinning up their own subscription service all of a sudden, right? It's the same problem. I want to be Switzerland, and we want to be neutral. We want to be following where the market tells us it needs to go. And so if a new manufacturer comes out of the woodwork with the greatest technology in the history of metal detecting next week, I want to be the first one in line to go carry that brand.
Right. Yeah. That's like the grave digger shovels and the hand digging tools. I mean, of course, they're a great thing to have, relic hunting, and I mean they're tough, and then they won't break, and
they won't bend.
Yeah,
I tell you what.
Course, I mean, you can. I mean, I'm glad y'all guys have picked that up and going to sell that. I mean, that tells you a lot.
They are extremely well built.
They absolutely are.
You just told one of those diggers. Mark's got one in this last week. Of course, they came up for the show, but came up and stayed on our houseboat for a week, and we got to visit with them. And he showed me some of the products. Now, I've seen the shovel, but I've never seen the hand digger.
Yeah.
Massive. You're not going to bend that. You couldn't bend that thing with a
No.
jackhammer.
And it's almost so pretty you don't want to dig with it. I mean, the paint jobs on these things are fantastic.
They're
I have
beautiful.
one that's purple that Eric made for me, and I love it. And I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to get this dirty. I don't want to scratch the paint because it's so nice.
When we were at the Central Florida Metal Detecting seated hunt, I messed with them then. And then, of course, the hand digger, I mean, it looked like a machete.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it'll work great. And, of course, the serrated edges on them and stuff. But, I mean, I'm very glad that we're affiliated with Calico now. And, I mean, it's an opportunity that opened up for us and you too. And,
Yeah.
I mean, it's endless. And, I mean, I'm very glad it happened.
Yeah. We're really grateful and really excited to be part of the family.
Yeah.
And we're going to have you on sometime in August. I think Mark talked to you.
Yeah.
We want to get more about your background. We want our listeners to know who Sean McGinnis is.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, but, we just want them to have the confidence in you that we've got in you, and to learn more about you. And we know Carolyn. We've had her on the show a couple of times, and we know of all of her shenanigans. But these are real folks. I mean, if me and Jeff love them, you're going to love them too. So that's. And we certainly do appreciate you guys taking time out to come on the show, and look forward to working with you.
Same here.
Same here.
Can't wait.
Yep. Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
Oh, I'm excited, ain't you, Jeff?
I am. I can't wait.
Yeah. And we've got Shannon and Miss Emily.
Well,
Little
there she is.
dirt
Oh, well, look
digger.
at her run.
Yeah, they're just running over here to, and this is part of the parent-child relationship thing that we were doing back. We did that back in June because that was Father's Day month. But anyway, we've got Shannon and we've got Emily. How are you doing, guys?
Good.
Good. Good. How are you doing, Shannon, today?
Doing pretty good. Enjoying the show.
Yep.
I've seen you've been running around a lot,
I have.
chasing Miss Emily around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you met your new friend, didn't you?
Yeah.
Mark Hoover's daughter, granddaughter, Solo. Her and Miss Emily's been running around, and I seen them running everywhere. So, how you enjoying the Civil War show this time?
Awesome.
It is awesome. There's a few more tables this time, but you give away a bunch of stickers and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you?
You know, we got to be with Miss Emily last year at this show, get her picture made with her and everything, and we saw a lot of the things that she had found. You have had an awesome year since the last time we saw you, the things that you found, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about some of those.
Well, I like my U.S. box plate really, really good.
I would too.
I bet. See, he's never found one, so I mean,
No,
you've got one up on him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through the wood and it beeped, so I dug it up, and my dad found an S, and he said, whoa, 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 stop. And then we picked it up out of the ground, and it was a U.S.
Yep. I saw that video, and I'm going to tell you something, other Shannon. I got emotional over that.
We all did.
Yep.
Oh,
you
yeah.
did. My grandson is, we got 11 grandchildren, but I've got one that's 8 years old, and he's the only one that is interested or shown any interest in metal detecting. And I took him last week. He found his first silver coin. Talk about what it's like as a father to have your child go through things like that and to share that with him.
It's amazing, just watching her dig a piece of history, and me, even as a family, watching her uncover that ourselves and have it on video for her to look back when she's older. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
And especially the U.S. box plate. I mean, that was a real emotional video, like you said, and it just tore us all up.
And you were trying, as I would want to do, you were trying to document that just the way that it deserved to be documented. She's wanting to get it out of the ground as quick as she can.
Right.
And so it was comical and it was emotional, and it had
Exciting, yeah.
Yeah, it had all the elements.
Yeah, we had 2 cameras going at one time. I said, wait, let's go live. Let's get this, where everybody can else, share this with everybody else too. And but it was amazing, and I'm glad, everybody got to watch it live and share that special moment that day.
Tell us how it feels to be able to hunt with your daughter. How did you guys get started?
She just wanted to go with me one day, and I took her,
and we were metal detecting, and I was trying to find something, and it beeped. So I was fast. I got the shovel, I digged it up, and I pulled it out, and it was pulled out, and I was like, "Can we find some more, Daddy?" And you said,
and that's pretty much it. She's been with me ever since. Every time I go out, she's right behind me.
Unless I'm sick, and
Right, but she just loves the hobby, and she loves spending time with me. That's our time, and even her mom goes every now and then with us. But she just enjoys that, me and her time.
Yeah.
We just go out, have a good time, whether it's, detecting, fishing, whatever, just
loving every day.
Yeah, you did a video on that one too.
I've seen that big old bass you caught. That was a pretty good sized bass.
Yeah. One time I was fishing and I tried to reel it in. My line stopped, so I just had to pull it, and it snapped my rod.
Oh man!
Well,
I bet
not
that was
the rod, just the line.
Yeah, I bet that was a big one.
Oh yes, it was about like this big or
Man.
something. Yeah, we're all doing that.
So, which one do you like? You like relic hunting or fishing better?
I don't know.
You like softball?
Oh yeah. It's hard work though.
You hit home runs, don't you?
Oh yes. One time this one girl, she was very, very fast, and she was running towards me, towards base, and I kept going side to side, and she had to, and then I slid across base.
Wow, good job.
Oh yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Loy had to walk off a minute, and we got half redneck with us, Mark Hoover. So if you heard a different voice in there, Loy, it's not Loy. So.
Yeah, I was sneaking in here because little dirt digger's in here, and I wanted to say hi to her.
Yeah.
She came down to our show in Orlando and hunted down there. Did you have a good time down there?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
You gonna come back?
Probably.
Yeah, you're gonna come back. I think you are. You found a lot of
Yeah.
good stuff there, didn't you?
Yeah, we found a lot of good stuff.
You even found stuff that even wasn't even part of the seated hunt.
I know.
That's pretty
I like
awesome.
that cross with Jesus on it.
Right.
Good deal. I didn't see that. I don't believe I seen that, but I heard about it, but I hadn't seen it yet.
I saw it. It's a
It
great
was on.
find.
It's in my cases, but it's on this. It was like on the side of the part where everyone was eating, and I was like boop boop boop, trying to find the marbles that we were trying to do, and it went beep 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 beep, and I looked at it, and it was the cross with the Jesus on it.
Man, good find. How many silver coins did you find while you were there?
I don't remember.
It was a pretty good bit. I think she found about 15.
That's pretty good. I mean, I know I've found a few, and if I'd found a few, she could get down close, pick them up a lot faster than I could.
She had more of an advantage. She's closer to the ground.
Now, I heard you went over to the beach. Was that the first time you went to the beach?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yes, I loved it. It was so amazing.
Now, you need to go metal detecting on the beach sometime.
Oh, we did.
Oh,
we
you did?
Just a local beach.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, if you go in those Florida beaches, you might find some Spanish treasure.
Oh, yeah.
What would you do if you found a Spanish gold coin?
Scream my head off.
You would? I think your dad and your mom would probably scream their heads off, too.
That would be hilarious.
It would be.
It would be hilarious to watch. But not for them.
No.
Are you got any plans to go this around the show here?
Well, we're probably going to come.
Yeah, I know Riley, Bryant, and a few of them. I think they're going metal detecting maybe Monday or something. So
You
And
never
I didn't know
know.
if you guys would stay around that long or not.
So no,
No,
Be
we're
nice.
gonna go home today. Once it's all done, we're gonna go home, unpack, and I'm getting in the bed and taking me a nap.
I'm going to do the same thing now. You
And I'll
have,
wake up and I'll play.
that's a good thing to do. Now,
Because I'm a kid.
You're a kid, and you always stay a kid, okay? You don't ever grow up. Is
But I
that
have to.
okay? Well, now, do you have a secret spot that you'll take me metal detecting one day?
Yes.
Oh, you're so sweet. I appreciate that. You're so nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I've seen her and Solo hook up together. They've been running around the whole show pretty much.
Well, they met down in Orlando, and they became friends. And then I didn't tell Solo that Emily was here, and she was so excited when she found out that she was here. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a big surprise.
Well, good
Yeah,
deal.
and he said I had someone special to meet.
That's right.
And it was her.
Of course, this is the first time I've met Solo. Well, I've talked to her a little bit down at the Florida hunt, but today I've talked to her more than I did then. So,
Oh, yeah.
but she's a real nice girl. So,
Well, you know, Emily, you're a real inspiration to a lot of little kids,
Yeah.
and you're going to
Most
be.
kids don't metal detect that much, but I was interest people to metal detect, like with kids. That's what I taught some people to, metal detect. So,
Yeah, they see what you do, and they realize how much fun it can be hunting with your family and your dad and your mom. And
yeah,
you
my
can,
dad, he finds a lot more stuff. Well, until I showed up.
really,
Yeah.
you're doing pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
so what did your friends say about you metal detecting? Do they want to go with you, or
I don't know.
you don't know? So, but say he used to find all the good stuff until you come around, right?
Yeah.
So, that's good.
and we saw that U.S. belt plate you found. That thing is
Oh, yes.
beautiful.
I love it. I'm going to keep it until I'm 20 years old.
Really?
Just kidding. Until I'm 978 years old.
Man, you'll be
Wow.
old as Loy Milam then.
Did you know that he was in the Civil War? I'm just teasing. He's not really in the
Yeah.
Civil War.
We aggravate him and tell him he was all the time. We told him he was metal detecting it during the middle of a battle. So, of course, we just call him an old man.
Have y'all talked to her about Solo?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
Talk about Solo. Shannon, so how are you enjoying the show today?
Oh, it's awesome. I enjoyed all the people coming up to her, looking at her finds, and all the kids that's come. There's a lot of kids today, and she's showing everything that she's found, and they're really interested in metal detecting and finding it themselves.
Well,
And
that's great.
actually, we had two came back from last year's show that's purchased a metal detector since we talked, and they found a few coins and a few of their old parents' cars and toys and stuff in their own yard. So that was pretty cool. She
Man.
was all excited about that.
That's pretty cool. You got Miss Emily, and how old are you, Miss Emily?
8 years old.
8 years old, and then of
Yep.
course she has friends and people just coming up her age and wanting to learn more about relic hunting and stuff. And then, this is the next generation of relic hunters. So and it starts pretty much with her. She's famous now, and hopefully when college comes along or whatever, hopefully she keeps
I don't want
relic
college. I heard that college is so hard that some people couldn't get through it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that didn't. So,
You have to work for it.
yeah, you have to work.
Oh, yes.
But when you get older, you'll probably change your mind. You'll be like, well, I need to get me a degree in archaeologist or something like that, where you can get paid to dig then.
That'd be cool, huh?
I want to grow up, but I don't want to grow up. The reason I want to grow up is so I can go shopping.
You go shopping now.
I'm not by myself. That way I can buy me toys. because I like toys.
Well,
Maybe I can find me a metal detector
you can
made
find
out
him.
of toy.
You know, the biggest thing is don't ever get a boyfriend.
No.
Just
I already
don't.
have one.
Uh-oh.
No.
You do. Uh-oh. Does your dad know you got a boyfriend?
Yeah.
He does? So, but he's just a friend though, right? He's just kind of like a
He's
friend.
just a friend that's a boy.
Yeah.
No.
Uh-oh. Now, come on.
He likes me and I like him.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay.
He moved to a different school and I was like, no.
Does he metal detect? Does he metal detect?
He looks at my channel a lot.
He does. Okay, but you know, if you ever do get a boyfriend, you got to wait till you're 30 years old, and he has to metal detect. He's got to metal detect before you can have a boyfriend. Okay.
You at least have to be 18.
No.
Okay. 30. I think it's got to be 30.
Yeah, 30. 30. He's got to have his own house. He's got to have a nice vehicle. He's got to have 5 metal detectors, and then he's got to own a bunch of property. So,
Old property.
yeah,
Old.
yeah, old property. But lots of Civil
I
War
still
and
like him.
He's got to have all that.
yeah.
And his name is Braden Strickland.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we got a name now. Brayden better watch out.
Braden, I hope you're listening.
No, he doesn't.
So
My dad is just silly, that's what.
now he's been a dad.
That's right. Remember, 30 years old.
Yep, 30
That's
years
right.
old.
That's right.
20.
Well, y'all can negotiate that later on, but we're glad to have you on the show today.
Yeah.
Me too. What is your favorite coin?
What is my favorite coin?
Yeah.
I found my favorite coin, I guess, is 1813 half dollar.
Jeez, that's old.
It was pretty old, and then, of course, I do have a 1721 coin, but it'd been cut, and then you could just barely, well, you could make out the date, but I guess my favorite coin is the 1813. So what is your favorite coin that you've got?
My biggest coin is a $50, which is my favorite coin. And the angel coin.
Yeah. What's your favorite relic besides the belt buckle?
My cannonball.
Your cannonball.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's pretty
Yeah,
neat.
that's pretty neat.
Yeah. I'm wanting to, my bucket list is wanting to find a cannonball, like a huge.
One of the big ones.
Yes. That's what I'm looking forward to, that I can put it in the cannon and then shoot it off.
That's your boyfriend?
No.
There's one over there that weighs more than you do. Have you seen it yet?
No.
It's a big artillery shell, and then it's I guarantee it weighs more than you do. So,
Well, I am 70-something pounds.
yep. It's probably 100 pounds. So.
Wow.
I've never heard of anyone that's 100 pounds before.
So what do you? I heard you and Butch went magnet fishing.
Oh, yeah. He came to Cartersville, Georgia, and we taught him how. But he just went on ahead and learned how right by himself.
Well, that's pretty good. So, did you find much?
Not
Not really. Well, yeah. Well, it's been too hot.
Yeah, it has been hot. That's a good thing you were in a creek. So.
Yeah, I jumped in the water and swam and swam and swam and swam. But one part, it was way too deep.
Was it?
It was like 5 foot long.
Man, I mean 5 foot deep.
Yeah.
Okay. Did Butch swim any?
No.
Okay.
He may have failed.
Oh, uh-oh.
He did.
I say that hurt too. And slick rocks.
He slipped and it hit his side. His hip.
But he's okay,
He's
right?
okay.
Yeah, he's okay.
That's great.
Well, guys, I mean, I'm glad you're enjoying the show. And thanks for being on and everything. So.
Well, thanks for having us. We're having a great time out here and look forward to doing it again next year.
Yeah.
And y'all look up Little Dirt Diggers on Facebook. You'll see her.
That's me. LDG, a.k.a. Little Dirt Digger.
There she is, and y'all look her up, and she's got a beautiful display, and she's finding relics every day, and she's going out hunting with her dad, and they're having a great time, and it's a great hobby. And thank you guys so much for being on the show today.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys. I love you.
We love you
love
too.
you too, Miss Emily.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, Mark, what do you think so far about this Civil War show? You having a good time?
We're having a great time. It's been a lot of fun. We've gone around and seen a lot of displays, and it's the first time that Solo has been with us. And, of course, I got my wife, Gail, here with us. And we love just going around and looking at all the displays. And we bought a few things while we're here, and we've talked to a lot of people and met a lot of new people. And so it's been great. How about you?
I've had a great time. And then, of course, tell you, Mark walks up early. He's always, when he goes to these Civil War shows, man, he goes crazy. He's like a kid in a candy store. He brought this bag of buttons. And then, of course, I mean, hundreds of buttons in this bag, got to be. And he said, look what I got. And then he was jingling around, $15. Now, how can you run up on that many buttons?
Don't tell anybody.
But, yeah, I mean, it was a great deal that he got. But, I mean, other than that, I'm having a great time. Loy, I know he's having a great time. And, of course, I mean, I hate that I missed supper with you guys last night with the Calico bunch, and then we didn't get in Chattanooga in time. So,
well, a big part of that coming to a show like this is meeting people and being able to go out to eat and spend time together. And so, yeah, we've had a really good time doing that, and the dinner was great. So, yeah, I mean, this has been the end of a vacation for us where we've just had a great time. And Loy and Raina were very gracious. We stayed on their houseboat at Dale Hollow Lake, and
I'll send you a bill.
Send me the bill, okay? Send it to Gail. And then, of course, you know, you have little things that you walk in the water with your cell phone, and then you drop your cell phone in the water, but hey, you know, that's part of it. But we've been having a great time.
Yeah, that's part of the adventure. So how do you feel about the great news with Calico?
It is awesome. Of course, you know, I'm on the board of the Central Florida Metal Detecting Club with Carolyn Harwick, the sales manager at Calico, and we have really enjoyed getting to know each other, and we've hunted together, and we worked together in the club. And now that Calico is the major sponsor of Relics Radio, I think it's a great partnership all the way around. I just love the fact that we're going to do that.
I believe it's going to be great. Now, I cannot wait to see where this goes. I know me and Loy started this podcast. Well, actually, Loy started it and brought me aboard over a year and a half ago. And then, of course, 2.5 redneck. Well, it started out with 2 rednecks with a metal detector.
Now we got, we went to 2.5. But him walking into the lake with his phone, that moves him up almost to 5'8" now, I think. But I tell you what, let me just pause and say something to both of you guys and then the listeners as well. You guys are like brothers to me, and we have made this journey together. All 3 of us have made this journey, and I see so much potential that is ahead of us, and no one person did that. We all 3 have worked hard to get where we're at, and I think that this is a real positive step forward. Now, that's not saying anything disparaging about Murray Branch Outdoors, because Tim is a great friend of ours, and I think that Tim is probably going to come along at some point in some capacity with this, but it is, we have stepped up to the next level, and so we've taken that step, and I just want to thank you guys, and I want to thank all of our listeners and everything for the support that they have given to us and the confidence that they have placed in us, and you know, it's been a fun ride. And I'm 150-year-old. I don't know why I can't make it to 175. So I got 25 more years of this, Jeff.
Yeah. I mean, well, we was telling Emily you was 900 years old, and then, of course, you were still in the Civil War, so you were in the Civil War, and I thought she believed it for a minute, and Mark had to tell, no, we're just playing. So. But yeah, I appreciate what Seven does, and then Mark does. I mean, it's a lot of work to do this podcast, and then Loy and Mark both, they do a lot of work, and I try to contribute what I can, but I mean, they do work hard. And Mark, he books all of our guests, and then I mean, I don't know. He must know the president or something. I mean, he knows all these people, and then I mean, if he run for a public office, he would get it in a heartbeat. I mean, he would get elected, and then
this is our brand. This is what we have. This is what we've built, and we got certain things that have stuck on us. I'm the old man. You're the redneck, and you're the half redneck, and we're not celebrities. We joke about that. We are personalities, but we're people just like you guys. And if it wasn't for our listeners, we'd be nothing. And, you guys have brought us along on this, and I'm just excited to continue the journey, see how far it goes.
Well, look, guys, I started listening to the show, and I've listened to other podcasts, and there's a lot of good podcasts out there, and I just felt like this was a quality show, great production, wonderful guest, and I can't thank you enough for the opportunity to be a part of this. If I can contribute to this a little bit by finding really interesting guests and bringing them along and being a part of the radio show, that's what I'd like to do. And so thank you both so much for letting me be a part of the show a little bit. And it's been a real pleasure working with you and getting to know you and hunting with you. And I know this is a great journey, and we'll just continue it on, and we'll continue to build on the success that we've had so far.
And I'll tell you something else, and we've got to close this show. We got to get out of here in a little bit. I'm wore out. I have produced every show that's been on today. I've had a set of headphones, and I got Mark to come over a while ago because I need to go to the little boy's room. 30 minutes ago I needed to go. But I also want to thank all of the other podcasts, all of the help that we've got from Josh and Heath and Scott, to be able to work with Butch and Jeff Lubert and Mike Hare, talking with him, and Gypsy, just the whole community working together. We appreciate each and every one of you guys, and if there's anything that we can ever do to help you, we try to be proactive on that, especially with the Skype debacle that we got into, and we helped one another through that. But just hats off and thanks to everybody. It's kind of an emotional thing for me, because I had no idea that that's what this was going to turn into, and good things just keep happening, and I credit it to this team this family that we've put together here. Look at our wives all sitting over there. I mean, who would have thought that? They all are, and they're listening to this live on they're listening to it live on my phone. 10-second delay, so you got time to say something about your wife and run.
I'm not saying anything because she'll throw my phone back in the water.
Okay, guys, let me get around there where Mark is, and I'll get ready to close the show out. Go ahead and talk there, Jim.
Yeah, I got to stand up and walk around my back and neck. So, but, yeah, we appreciate all the listeners that was in there today, and then appreciate all the listeners every Thursday. And like we couldn't went this far without you guys, so thank you very much.
That is true. And the big news today is that Relics Radio and Calico Metal Detectors have formed a partnership, and we're looking forward to that, and you'll be receiving additional details about that as we go along. So we're going to close out the show here. Thanks for joining us. Catch us this next Thursday night. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Relics Radio. We really do appreciate it. Be sure and join us live every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern here on Spreaker, or you can catch the archive show at Relics Radio on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and many other podcast outlets. Relics Radio is also syndicated on the Cutting Edge Radio Network and is broadcast around the world. Please take a minute and hit the like button and be sure and follow us so you'll get notifications of all of our upcoming broadcasts. You can also find us on YouTube at Diggin' with 7 or Tennessee Jeff, or you can check us out on our Relics Radio Facebook group page or Adventures in History on Facebook. If you'd like to get in touch with us, then send an email to relicsradio@outlook.com. We'd love to hear from you. We hope that you'll join us next Thursday night, and until then, get out there and dig some history.